All right, we are live. This is episode 3 of the Summer Blockbuster Movie Review brought to you by EQ, aka Harry, or should I say Harry, aka EQ, with my guest host, Optimus, aka Richard, or Richard, aka Optimus. Richard, go ahead and tell the people hello.
What's going on? How y'all doing today?
All right, and today we are going to review the new Godzilla movie that just got released this Friday. So if you haven't seen the movie, please go ahead and hit the X button on the browser that you're watching this on. But if you have seen the movie, go ahead and continue to watch. Remember that we have a Q&A section open to the public. So if you want to ask us a question, please go ahead and ask us a question. We will try to get to all your questions today, and if not, we will answer them in the comment section. But we are talking about the new Godzilla movie, our likes, dislikes, how we compare it to Godzilla movies in the past, and how we compare it to going to watch this movie in the theater. So as always, Richard, I will let you get your first word in. Remember, don't spoil the movie first.
I'm not.
But just give your general review of the movie.
Here's how I'll put it. It was a good movie. Is it a good Godzilla movie? Not so much. I thought the biggest problem with it is that the two things that they kept sporting in the trailers that were going to be like the greatest things ever was Bryan Cranston and Godzilla, and they both had maybe 20 to 30 minutes of screen time in the whole movie. I mean, they were there, but not there. The story was good. It was a very realistic take on how monsters could be in this world and how humans will deal with it. But that was the good part about it. The bad part really is the fact that if you come to this movie expecting to see Godzilla kill everything in its wake, that happens very, very, very late in the movie. So basically you're teased all the way through for about an hour and 20 minutes. And then boom, there you go. Then Godzilla's like, okay, shows up, wreck shop. And then the movie's kind of over. Which was alright. It's just that was my thing. It was a good movie. Godzilla movie just kind of was like, okay.
Okay,
yeah.
So we agree on this one because in the trailer you see nothing but Bryan Cranston. You see all these images of Godzilla going through a city and whatnot. So the whole time I'm thinking, oh man, Bryan Cranston and Godzilla, this is two great combinations right here. I can't wait to see this movie. And like you said, it's 20 minutes. Probably that 20 minutes is stretching it about how much they're actually in the movie. And like you said, I'm going to compare this to another movie that we've both seen, Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Not in the sense as movie-wise, but like how they use false truths in this movie, how they take real historical facts that actually happened and make a false twist on it to make the movie out of how the atom bomb testing in Bikini Island was the result of how they were trying to kill Godzilla when it first appeared, and in Transformers: Dark of the Moon, how the race to the moon with the Russians was actually to see what collided on the moon when it was Transformers that hit. So I do like that. The story was very very
story. I'll admit that,
yeah, very well done. And I was a little skeptical about the story because it seems like every action movie that comes out has the love story built into it. And I'm thinking, huge giant lizard and love story, that doesn't really go together. But there is two love stories in this one. That's kind of like, are they getting ready to do that on screen? That we're going to probably touch on in the movie. Well, so we both like the movie, but we have some indifferences about how Godzilla was interpreted in the movie. Richard, do you care to go into that?
Yeah, as far as just how the portrayal of Godzilla, or just how it kind of flowed out?
I would say how they actually how it flowed out. Like,
okay, here's the way I would say that. Okay, most people and have a pretty reasonable expectation that I'm gonna sit in this movie and I'm gonna see Godzilla tear this city apart.
That's what we all wanted to see.
Or Godzilla and rival monster thing to tear city apart, which you do get eventually. It's just that it took so long to get to that point. What you see is basically the best way I can describe this movie, and I saw this from another reviewer, is a very good analogy. He said that this movie is basically like The Walking Dead, but with Godzilla, in a sense that, think about it like this. You have a world, like The Walking Dead is basically a zombie TV show, but it's about a world where humans are having to deal with the zombie epidemic, not so much the zombies itself. This movie is about, it's Godzilla's quote-unquote movie, but it's about a world where humans have to deal with a monster epidemic. So it's it's one and the same, but I was kind of expecting with something a little closer to like how Pacific Rim is, where you just see stuff blow up. You know, it was what I was thinking. I was expecting to actually see, okay, Godzilla's gonna come in, he's gonna wreck shop or whatever. Pacific Rim, that's what you got. You got them blowing stuff up and killing everything all the way throughout the movie. And this, it was just kind of like, yeah, the trailer made it seem like Godzilla was gonna be like it, or him versus something else was gonna be like the main drag. I did like the fact that the way they played it out was it was a lot more realistic, because, you know, Pacific Rim was, you know, like, really, are we going to make giant robots to kill that? No. But but it looked cool. It's kind of
like how you keep on saying Pacific Rim. We all know,
I mean, that's the only think about it. That's the only Western film we pretty much have that could almost go toe to toe with how we expect Godzilla to be. Because, you know, think about it. When you watch Pacific Rim, what happened? You know, buildings were crashing down, monsters were going like screeching, and then robot comes out and it's like, okay, fight. Ken Watanabe said that in the movie. Is like, no. He said exactly what everybody was thinking. It's like, they're trying to blow him up. Yes, no, let them fight. It's like, thank you. That's what I paid to see. I paid to see Godzilla versus Monster Thing X kill each other. Which that did look nice when you got to that point, but it just took so long to get there.
I'm gonna drop another movie on you. The first Hulk, the Ang Lee Hulk. Yeah, how we were all screaming, "Bring on the Hulk!" in the theater. That's kind of how I felt with Godzilla. Like they teased us several times with showing Godzilla's spiky back in the water and whatnot, and they showed the antagonist several times ripping through cities and going through Las Vegas, which I did appreciate, because, first of all, out of the past Godzillas, this one was by far best.
Oh, yeah.
Because it didn't look like Power Rangers. And tearing up cardboard buildings. So they had the technology to do it. It just wasn't that much Godzilla in there. And we have a couple questions here. One coming in from a good friend of mine, Marvin Hodges, and how he disagrees on how they made it seem like it was all about Godzilla. And I have to agree with him, because in watching the trailer, I honestly thought that this movie was going to be 99% Godzilla screaming and knocking down buildings.
I did like his roar. I like how they changed the roar just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, the roar was a little different. I did like that. That was cool.
Yeah. And they incorporated his like electric or fire breath. I can never figure that out as a child and as an adult, but I like how they do that.
You don't. Don't worry about it. When he did it, I was like, fine. When he did it, I was fine. Like, thank you. Like, you gave me something that I was looking forward to, and yeah.
And that was kind of hot, because like when he was down and out, and all of a sudden you see his tail starting to light up. I'm thinking, is that what I think it is?
Yeah.
Am I about to see? Finally, the price of admission is about to come just. It was quite amazing to see that in the theater, and the visuals were spectacular. It's just not enough, and we got another question in here. Like I said, if you send a question across, I'm gonna try to get to it. And another friend of mine, Jimbo, wants to say that you mean Marvin, you know, the guy who had the previous question, was only in the movie for 30 minutes. So he's
y'all is so wrong to Marvin. Yeah,
man, that's just wrong.
I think that's just that was the, and it's not like you want to say, like, you want to go into a movie and say, I want to go in here, turn my brain off, and then, you know, you just leave. That's not what I wanted. I mean, I'm glad it had a very solid story. You know, I forgot the dude who played Kick-Ass, who didn't even look like Kick-Ass. I was kind of surprised. I was like, that's the same guy. was like,
oh man, you didn't see Kick-Ass 2?
yeah, well, he looked like that in Kick-Ass, but you could tell he's like, man, I gotta bulk up for being Quicksilver, you know. So, but you could tell that. But I mean, the thing about it with that movie is that it set up an expectation that you were going to see Godzilla do something, and which he did, but there really wasn't very much of it. And then the thing is, also in the trailers, it made it seem like Godzilla was, I don't want to say was the bad guy, but he was going to wreck shop, and he kind of really didn't. He was, I'm not going to lie, I know this is going to sound violent or whatever, but I'm like, if you killed the dude, I was been, hey, what does Godzilla eat? Because, because if he's not eating something that big, he's got to be, throwing down on whales in the water. So, I mean...
You see, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because they played it off like the male and female monsters that Godzilla was fighting was feeding on nuclear energy. And I was trying to figure this out in the movie, because they said that the first one that they found had killed a previous Godzilla that fed on it. So does Godzilla also eat radiation?
Yeah, that was kind of the thing that I was thinking to myself, like, all right, well, are they really saying? So what does Godzilla eat? I mean, it's not like you're supposed to like really think, but whenever you have a movie, the thing about movies is that if there's ever a moment where you have to think about something that was said previously, and you're like, okay, and then it takes you back out of it, then that's what makes a movie bad. Because see, like, for example, I know I keep going back to Pacific Rim, but I thought it was awesome because they did everything supposed to do right. They set up a world, and they said, okay, monsters come from ocean. They, try to take out the city, and we built giant robots to fight them. Perfect. I don't really care about anything else because they didn't step outside that box. When Godzilla tried to get scientific, is really when it started, okay, they feed off radiation. Okay, good. It feeds off radiation. Okay. So what did Godzilla do? What does he feed off of? Water? I mean, that was it was those little things. It's like, I appreciate them trying to ground it in reality. The way I would say it is like, if you were to compare, I know, like I said, Pacific Rim, but if you want to compare those two movies, it's like comparing Gran Turismo to Wipeout 20 whatever it is HD. It's like one set up to be real and the other's just not. So I mean, you have to approach it from that side. But I mean, the thing that was cool about Godzilla, they try to ground it in reality, try to like do some biological things, did echolocation. Also, I was like, okay, I can appreciate them actually trying to study for it. But hey, let's face it, it was a good movie. But I wanted to really see like some monsters throw down, and you just kind of, I know, and it sounds like it's a gripe because it's a good movie. It's just that. The thing most people go in there for, and especially the way they portrayed it, is so. I would say it's far away from what you actually get, because you're really dealing with the human story. It's kind of like it's probably like it would say is probably the core error with the Transformer movies, is that even though the Transformers are in it, it's more about the human story than the actual, hey, well, robots came to Earth and they're here to duke it out.
Well, so, if you're going to make that comparison, since I've watched those movies several times, I've noticed that each movie has usually 4 to 5 sequences of the Transformers doing spectacular stunts in that movie, or spectacular action sequences. Where in this Godzilla movie, only 2 come to mind.
I would agree. Yeah,
that whole entire movie.
I would agree.
Now is the part where we're going to get into the spoiling and how we're going to talk about Bryan Cranston's role in the movie. Because, the opening sequence when his wife passes,
right?
I was thinking, oh, okay, so he's going to figure out some secret formula or some secret way.
That's what I was thinking.
Destroy Godzilla. I already figured this one out. And then when the monster breaks through his little cocoon nest, which I thought was hilarious, that they made a big giant caterpillar and then all of a sudden a butterfly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it breaks out of his cocoon and starts to fly away, and you see him up on the scaffolding. I'm just thinking, this ain't looking too good for dude. And he falls down into like the crater, and I'm just thinking, well, he's dead. And then they show up in the helicopter. I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe he's got some type of miracle cure or something, and then they're going to do another 15 years, and he'll be okay. And then no, he dies. I was thinking, okay, so I don't have to hit the I believe button, so he dies. And I'm just thinking, well, all this stuff that I saw in the trailer with him, that was it. It's basically the trailer is his whole entire
Yeah,
goal in that movie.
that irked
That
me.
monologue, that teaser trailer, that monologue, that's basically his whole entire
existence
in the film. And then Kick-Ass comes in and takes over, which if he can stop that I don't know why they do this, that staring at nothingness and at the camera, like, oh, like why? Why do directors tell their actors to do that? It's kind of nerve-wracking. Nobody acts like that. I mean, I take that back. Yeah, there are some space-headed people out there that act like that, but come on. I don't need that in an action film. You're supposed to be this guy who knows how to arm and disarm nuclear warheads. Come on. Have a little bit more sense than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. When I saw him die, like actually die, I was like, wait. Nah, because that was like, man, I looked at I happened just to look at my watch. Not like I was bored, but I was looking at my watch like, wait, this like 30 minutes into the movie. How is he dead already? So then, because you know what got me worried, honestly, was when I was watching the opening credits and I saw who was getting all the top billing, and then I saw at the last person that was mentioned was Bryan Cranston. I was like, oh no. I was like, yeah, he ain't gonna be in here as long as I kind of already set myself up for that. I was like, he's not gonna be in here that long. And then when it actually happened, I said, man, it's like they got you in the Bryan Cranston is what actually sold tickets to see this movie, which kind of.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt I went to go see this movie for Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know who do you know? Like if someone told you that, hey, Kick-Ass and Olsen twin sisters are gonna be like basically the lead of the movie. You'd be like, whatever. This is gonna be Matthew Broderick all over again. But they added Bryan Cranston in there, and I'm like, okay, now you got some authenticity there. You actually have Heisenberg is about to wreck shot with Godzilla. Okay, we can see how this works. And then he's gone, and you're like, oh, so now Kick-Ass is literally the lead the whole time. Well played. Thought like you're gonna
and he didn't have that many lines either to be the actual lead actor. He didn't have that many lines. Like, I can set the ball. Yeah, I can defuse the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what? And then
So
it was. Let's go in. So let's not really just pull this film apart as we're doing right now. Let's go ahead and compare this.
Because it was a solid movie, and that's the thing. It's just you have that one expectation to see knockdown, drag out Godzilla, and it happens. It's just it takes forever to get there.
So to our viewers out there, what we're trying to convey is that this movie, it's a good movie. Is it one of those ones like Captain America and Amazing Spider-Man that you see and you're just like, I want to go watch this movie again? Not so much.
Right.
If you miss it in theaters, I wouldn't say that, you really should have seen that one on the big screen, because once you hear the roar in the trailer, you're good. You really don't have to pay the price of admission just because you want to see Godzilla roar throughout the whole movie, because you're going to be upset. But we're telling you, the story was solid. It's a love story in between Kick-Ass and the Olsen twin, in between these two monsters, which actually you're thinking that, so he mentioned that two people made out in the movie. No. The monsters made out in this movie.
Yeah, they didn't show it. They had the cloak of fog throughout, so you didn't see anything, but you get the point. They it was like a nice quick edit cut.
It was the PG-13 cut.
Yeah.
But we got a question in here from the owner and moderator of the Living Room Productions, who wants to say that this movie was not the best Godzilla movie yet, because they did not try to make him battle humans, and they made him fed on fish. So like we were saying earlier, Mr. Math Tech, that what does Godzilla eat? We were wondering about that earlier. So thank you for the questions, sir. And we got another one in here, and it's from Charles again, talking about, I think they might have made him the good guy based off the cartoon. So he's referencing to that Godzilla 2000
Oh
cartoon that
yeah,
came
no,
out after
that's
that '98 Matthew Broderick Godzilla, which I'm gonna tell you, the cartoon was much better than that movie.
didn't see the. I didn't really watch the cartoon, man. I'll be honest with you.
I had to because after watching that movie with that Puff Daddy video, I was like, oh God,
I,
that
I could understand. I could understand that.
that was horrible. So let's get into comparing this Godzilla into previous Godzilla. So we're talking about the 1998 Matthew Broderick Godzilla, and that one from memory, because I've only seen that one once, probably half the time once, had Godzilla in the movie a significant amount because Godzilla was doing what we wanted him to do, and that's tear a city apart and
Right.
destroying buildings and whatnot. But unfortunately, that story and how they actually killed Godzilla was just so far fetched. It's like, how should I say? It's like the Transporter movie storylines. Like you have to go in with this big, huge, massive hand on this small, tiny "I believe" button that you need to hit, so you know you don't miss it, just so you can believe what you're watching is
Right.
actually happening on screen. That's how I felt about that.
Right. I would agree.
So we're just going to just take that. I don't even need your synopsis on that one. We're just going to throw that one out, and let's break into the classics, the black and white ones, the ones
Right.
that me and my pops used to watch on Sunday afternoons in the summertime. And those movies, when you go back and you watch them, they're hilarious, but then you actually appreciate them because of
Right.
the cinematography in it. Is because you know it's a human in a lizard costume.
Right.
But the camera angles and tricks that they use to make the miniatures look life-size and make him look larger than life, you're going, oh, okay, I can appreciate that. If you go in there with the mindset that, oh, yeah, like I saw Jurassic Park, why doesn't this movie look like Jurassic Park? Well, Jurassic Park, 1993, the Godzilla is 1957, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
So
Yeah.
there's going to be a technology difference. It's
Oh
just,
yeah.
you get to see this big, huge lizard thing tearing through the city. He's actually grabbing people, eating them left and right, throwing them down, big explosions. Everything you know, all the tanks, all the machine gun fires, not stopping this thing. It's just running through the city, ripping it down left and right. And it was just great just to see. It was basically, if you ever played the game Rampage, it was
Okay.
basically watching that come to life. I just loved that. And then they made, once Godzilla, they killed the original Godzilla finally, they switched around, and then all of a sudden Godzilla is the savior to the city because when this flying thing comes in, then Mega Godzilla, and then the, what was it, Godzilla versus King Kong,
Yeah.
and then Godzilla just will always, for some strange reason, always lay waste to the Japanese coastline. Like, what are they putting in the water over there? Because I can care less. You know, you complain about what we do over here in America. What are the Japanese putting in their water? Because they got
Yeah.
they got 80-foot Godzillas coming out of the ocean and laying waste to their land. So when growing up watching those movies, I was super, super excited to see this new Godzilla film. And I wasn't let down, but there could have been more. Your
Yeah.
take, Richard?
Yeah. That was the thing for me is that when you walk out in the movie theater, you're thinking to yourself like, okay, I like the cast, I like the acting, the visual effects were great, all the things in the movie made complete sense. It's just the fact that when you go to a Godzilla movie, you just kind of expect to say, okay, look, I'm about to see Godzilla wreck shop on this city, and you get it, but it took so long. Well, I think it wasn't there wasn't so much the fact that it took so long. It was the fact that, like, for example, the first time you see the two monsters go at Godzilla, it's like, okay, they kind of like entangle, and then it cuts to something else, and you're like, wait, what? You want at least a few more seconds of see, it's like, oh, yeah, you just
Well, that scene that you're talking about that one when they show it, then all of a sudden they cut to something else, and then they show it again where it's just you're looking at a TV screen shot of it.
yeah, it was
Yeah, I
like,
was upset at that. I was like, oh, finally, the first fight. Yeah, come on, bring this on.
yeah, and then it was like, yeah,
Like, how did he get away from Godzilla the first time?
right.
Yeah.
Godzilla had him by the neck, and I was like, wait, what? Okay, movie magic. That was an I believe button there. That was because Godzilla had dude by the neck, and I was like, nah, Okay, whatever.
And another, I believe, moment for me is when he finally kills the flying one with a tail whip,
Nah, man,
which
that
made
was
it look like
awesome.
the dragon.
Nah, man,
Yeah, yeah,
that was awesome.
yeah. That scene was awesome. I was like, the Power Rangers have nothing on this. This is what the Dragon Door should have looked like.
Nah, man,
This was quite amazing right
yeah.
here. It got
And
him impaled on the building. But
I,
the I believe part is when the building fell on Godzilla. And you see Godzilla like eyes closed and go into the smoke. You're thinking, oh, Godzilla dead? What?
yeah, that did kind of suck. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the theater actually kind of like cheered a little bit when he slapped the mess out the flying one. He was like, oh, okay, that was cool. That was like, okay.
Actually, to make that scene even better, if the Green Ranger would have popped up with that little flute, I would have.
Yeah, that would have been it. That would have been it.
Yeah. I would like throw my popcorn up. Yeah, time to go.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
that actually redeemed the movie a little bit. It took way too long to show Godzilla, and it was like you got maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes of screen time of actual Godzilla. They did really well cinematography making him look, because even during the Halo jump, like when he's like fighting, the one that's flying, when he's fighting a monster, and then all of a sudden it's like they're doing the Halo drop, and Kick-Ass is looking through his visor, and you see Godzilla, and he's falling down, and seeing Godzilla fight the other monster while he's at it. It's like, man, Godzilla's huge.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And
anyway.
I do like when he gave the female monster the kiss of death. That was a hot scene, in my opinion. That was when he just blew it all down her throat. Like, take that, bad one, can't stop, won't stop. I was like, yeah. And then at the very end, when he fell and took a nap, I was like, yo, did he just seriously lay down to take a nap?
Yeah, I think he had to recharge that electric fire, man. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's all it was. He had to recharge his fire, man. That was it.
Let off a big roar and go into the ocean. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And okay, we got another question there talking about, to be honest, that they did show more of the Godzilla in the 1998 movie, and they did not have him traveling through sewers. Yo, this dude shot that electric fire in the monster's mouth.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. That was another moment where it was like, that was awesome. I can get down with that. That was awesome.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and let's segue into our next movie topic. So, before I do that, I just want to mention something to you.
Okay.
What is it? Oh, the RPX format. Do y'all have that in your area?
We do.
We do?
Yeah.
I went to go, RPX is like, I think $1 or $2 cheaper. I went to go see this movie in the RPX format, and it was the 3D version of it, which, by the way, no need to get the 3D. Yeah. Yeah, that's a waste of money right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the RPX format does sound phenomenal. I'm definitely not going to go see this movie again just to see if I compare it to the IMAX. But just a little quick segue for that is that the X-Men Days of Future Past, I do have a free ticket, so I will be going to go see that. And
you suck, man, because I don't have a free ticket on that one.
You don't have a free ticket on that one?
I don't have a free ticket on that one, so I'm going to have to eat that one. I still need to, because when does it come out? Is it next week?
It comes out this Friday.
That means I need to go rent. I need to go rent First Class so I can be caught up with that. And I gotta watch Wolverine too. The second
gosh, you're gonna love that one. Sarcasm. And I already got the show set up for next Sunday at 7 o'clock for us to talk about that one. And I just want to. I've gone ahead and I pretty much, because I'm a huge X-Men fan. That's what my sister and I. That's what we read as children growing up.
Right.
Huge X-Men fan. Like, she was in the Storm, I was in the Wolverine. So I've pretty much been clawing my eyes out every time I watch one of these movies. But I just want to shoot something by you. Like, in the comic Days of Future Past, wasn't Bishop in that storyline? Because doesn't he come back in time to tell the X-Men and warn them about the Sentinel Initiative?
Yeah, now I'm not really as familiar with that storyline, but I remember Bishop is in there, and I know he is in this movie. So
he is in this movie. Okay.
Yeah, he is in this movie, so you don't have to worry about So
Okay.
they're touching on it pretty well. So it's not like you're gonna be completely screwed up if you see it. Well, when you see it, it's not like they're doing a. I'm still wondering how they're doing Quicksilver in this movie because Quicksilver is Magneto's kid, but he's in this movie in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of.
Well, Richard, like I said, you got to slap the I believe button because if you want to get technical with it, have it.
Oh, it's. I guess it's a portrayal thing. I guess it's a portrayal because you're like, hey, okay, well, all right, I can deal with a little bit of change. And just one last thing before we cut off. Did you see the new Transformers trailer?
Oh yeah, with Grimlock blowing on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's epicness already. That's June 6th. We might actually do a live broadcast in the theater on mobile devices till we set up laptops or computers at home to continue talking. That might be the first 2-hour episode of the Summer Blockbuster.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, yep. I'm trying to keep myself together because, like I said, right now the movies that are coming out is you got Days of Future Past. Then you have what's the next movie after that? There's something.
We got Edge of Tomorrow. That's going to be one that I'm actually kind of leaning towards to watch.
You know what, man? I'll be honest with you. Like the more I see it, I'll admit I still think it's Groundhog's Day with guns. But I mean, but I know you say you didn't like Oblivion. I was actually really surprised. I was not expecting very much from it, and I think that's probably why I liked it because I really had no expectation for the movie. And when I walked out of it. I actually rented it, and I was like, okay, that was I'd consider buying it. I'd consider it. I haven't bought it, but I consider it.
Oblivion is that movie. I don't know if we talked about this because it's one of those movies where you have to make your own ending to it per se. Like one of those artsy movies, like one person can interpret the side meaning to be this, and another person can interpret it to be that. I think what was it? Spike Lee did a movie like that. I think it was The 25th Hour, which you didn't see. To me, it's a great movie. But when I tell people to go watch that movie and they watch it, they're just like, Harry, why'd you tell me to watch that movie? I don't know. I was like, it's like watching Inception. Like I watched Inception maybe 5 times, and I still do not know what the hell is going on in this movie.
Hey, well, I don't know if you saw the trailer for the movie. Christopher Nolan's got another movie coming out called Interstellar. You want to check the trailer? I'll post it. I'll post it somewhere later on. I'll post it on Google Plus later on this afternoon.
Is that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey, yep.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
That comes out in November, so I'm interested to see what it is. The thing is, I'll have to say this: Christopher Nolan, in my opinion, is probably one of the few directors that has not made a bad movie yet. Because
you know what? While we're talking about Christopher Nolan, if you haven't seen, like, I think one of his very first films, Memento. Yeah, yep. See, I didn't even get it out. Yeah, if you
that was a good movie.
Memento, please go rent, buy, purchase, bootleg, whatever you need to watch that movie. That is a great movie.
That was good.
Yeah.
And then he did Batman after that.
Yeah, he did Batman after that. And then, he's pretty much rock solid from that. He could probably do a movie co-directed by M. Night Shyamalan. And I was like, but Christopher Nolan's on this.
Yeah. So, Christopher Nolan was on Man of Steel, too. So he was the producer. So you can't really... He produced that one. So I guess... Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got a question that pops in here that I missed, and they were talking about Forge in the Days of Future Past. Comic book wise, yes, Forge actually is the one who resurrects Wolverine in the future to send him back into the past. So I don't know if I really spoiled it. I don't know if that's going to be in the movie or not, but like I said, there's spoilers all over the show. So yeah. So if it's true to comic book, Forge should be in the Days of Future Past movie that's coming out this Friday. That me and my co-host Richard will probably be. I just drew a blank there. Reviewing next Sunday.
Yeah.
Richard, before we wrap it up, anything you want to add?
Nah, man, I am good otherwise, boss.
All right. Well, as always, sir, I've enjoyed you on this show. You always bring a fresh take and insight to this show. Hopefully, I can get you on the next one when that next X-Men movie comes out, and I don't have claw marks over my eyes. So let's just Let's just cross our fingers and say, hold
Yeah.
up, fifth time is the charm. Fifth time is the charm.
Like I said, so between now and probably Sunday. Between now and Sunday, I'm gonna watch not Days of Future Past, First Class, and I'm gonna go watch the Wolverine, the second one.
One movie a night. One movie a night.
Yo, no. I'm not gonna blow my brain up on that. There's only but so much I can take.
All right, so tell the people how to get in touch with you, Richard.
All right, man. Best way to get in touch with me is I got my little Google link down at the very, very bottom right there, gplus.2/Optimus124, or I could be reached on Facebook.com/Optimus124 as well.
All right, and as you see down there, my link, let's see if I can get the finger right there. We have it, my Flickr account, which is soon to be updated by a independent website that I hopefully will get started on this weekend. Yeah, I'm doing it big time. I got a buddy of mine that's going to come over, and we're going to do either a Bootstrap or a WordPress website. So, you know.
Oh, okay. And then you already bought your domain and everything, or you just going to?
Well, I'm not going to say the name over the air because if somebody goes out there and buys it before
I got you. Yeah, don't say it, but you already got that taken care of.
Yeah. I haven't. Yeah, it's available. I just haven't bought it. So we're gonna
hit the buy button. You're good.
Yeah. So we're gonna work that out and whatnot. So I'll have my own domain, but until then, you can still catch those photos right there on that web link.
I haven't actually looked at your gallery, man. I have to go sit down and do that.
I actually have, I think, 2 or 3 photo shoots of nature and sporting events that I've yet to upload.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, due to the wonderful fact that Comcast limits you to 30 gigabytes a month, and I watch a lot of Netflix.
Really? I didn't know that.
I said not 30, but 300. Yeah, 300 gigabytes a month.
So, wow, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I've already gone over before I started recording the show, and I was like, whatever, I'll just bite the bullet.
Man.
Yeah. So you can catch me there on the Flickr. You can catch me on the Google Plus, The Mind of Cube. You can also catch me on Google Plus at Harry Zell III. That's where you can say hello to me. I was on Facebook this past week and got into a Facebook argument. So yeah, Facebook is still nothing but drama. So I don't know how much I'm going to be on that, but I am on Facebook. I don't know my little tagline to do it, but I'm
on
the
just make one. That's what I did. I just went in.
Vanity link. You guys got to make your own vanity link. Okay.
Yeah.
I might log on again and get into another argument to get a vanity link, so I'll have that for you next time.
There you go.
And you can catch me on the Twitter with the 141 line hitters at the Mind of Cube, and also on Instagram at the Mind of Cube as well.
All right.
Now we're signing off till we see you next week on Sunday, 7 o'clock. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your questions. I do appreciate it. Until next time, stay classy.